There's Mommy, child development specialist.
Look, I just love them, okay? I absolutely adore these children. They can do no wrong, but I am objective. I think they need to broaden their horizons. I think we should constantly give them opportunities. Now that I've got this stage, I think I shall continue. You need to broaden their horizons. And y'all, don't you ever think you can't do anything. You understand? I'm telling you that right now. You can do anything that you want to do. And don't you dare let anybody tell you otherwise.
I grew up in Thomasville, got interested in Ivy League schools because I went to Westchester Academy, went to Harvard, played basketball there, really enjoyed it, graduated in '79, ended up back in Greensboro working in computers at IBM, and met Liz there.
She was always a delightful little girl, and she was a good student. She went to Greensboro Day through the 11th grade. She was the head cheerleader. Then she went to Pagehurst Senior in high school. She went on to St. Mary's and then transferred to Chapel Hill.
Liz was somebody at St. Mary's who was so well respected. She was just special.
In '81, I was working at IBM, and she just kind of floated in while I was out of town as a fill-in receptionist. And we met, had a lot in common, and hit it off pretty quick.
She said, I met the greatest guy. She said, he's tall. Well, I didn't realize when she said tall, I didn't realize that tall she meant.
I got to give IBM credit for the sales school, because I was one of those guys that would be like, you don't want to go out with me, do you? But they helped me get over a little bit of my fear of failure, so I actually looked her in the eye and asked her out.
When they first started dating, it was so exciting because you could just feel the love that those two had for each other.
First date was a Halloween party at a friend's house. I remember we both were constantly spilling our drinks. I think that's a good sign that you're getting along well. You're kind of nervous.
And it was sort of from then on, there was no question about it. It was just a delightful relationship.
I was a typical guy, though, that took forever to ask the question, so we got married like 3.5 years later. That was '85. We had a good 5 years together before kids. I think it was '88 that we decided, let's start trying to have kids, and so that was an easy thing to agree on. Matt and Will were born in 1990. Very happy day.
There he is.
She had some problems with her vision. It would come and go. So they did some further testing, a spinal tap, some scans, and figured out that she had MS.
Here's Matt awaiting his haircut.
And the haggard mother who hasn't had one in months.
MS is a neurological disease. It can impact speech, it can impact your mobility, and it can totally change the quality of life. The symptoms of MS are so different, and it varies from person to person. And there are two types of MS. Folks with relapsing remitting, they have exacerbations, and then they may feel fine or look fine. And Liz was diagnosed with the other type of MS, which is primary progressive. We have no drug therapy for that at this point.
The guys were only a year old when she was first diagnosed. They were a very welcome distraction, so we didn't brood about it too much. We had to keep taking care of them. And she was still, quite able.
So we're having a very good day. We went on a walk, 30-minute walk, like we do every morning. We're having a wonderful time.
We almost ignored it for, I think it was a couple of years.
Wait a minute, I've got to look good. Here's the mother. Not exactly glamorous, but sincere.
She had some of the visual stuff, but you could treat that with steroids. A little bit of a change in her walking, but she was able to do everything for herself, drive, work. And then, I think it was '93, she had a sudden, almost blindness in one eye. That really got our attention. And from that point on, it just seemed like she was on a gradual, steady decline with everything. Didn't really respond to all of the great drugs that have come out in recent years that seem to help a lot of people. She kind of went through them all and didn't see much change. Her doctor, who was a specialist who only saw MS patients, we love the guy, said, "You're the worst patient I've ever had." And what I mean by that is I feel bad that I haven't been able to positively affect the course of your disease. I mean, you could say maybe it would have been worse without these drugs, but it's kind of hard to imagine.
Happy birthday, dear Manuel. Happy birthday to you.
At their third-year checkup, we were referred to a neurologist. They still weren't really walking normally, having trouble getting up off the floor, and got their diagnosis of muscular dystrophy.
Duchenne muscular dystrophy is a condition where they're missing a vital protein in muscles, and that causes muscle cell deterioration, and as a result, the patients get weaker. The kids are born and appear, for all intents and purposes, normal, and then somewhere, depending on the child, between 2, 3, 4 years old, the parents start noticing they might have trouble walking or running.
As the disease progresses, the muscles of the body begin to fail. So breathing becomes a problem and often requires mechanical breathing machine support.
There's the transition of getting a chronic diagnosis. There's the transition of being able to walk to not being able to walk. There's the transition of being able to breathe on your own to not being able to breathe on your own.
We were told in '93 that late teens was kind of a good number, longest maybe early 20s. But care has improved, especially with heart and lung care. We've had them followed by a cardiologist and a pulmonologist since they were 12 or 13. And we're told now that they might make it to 30, early 30s.
You couldn't understand it, you couldn't rationalize it. The futures were gone.
When things started happening with my family, I started making some changes with my work. Took a couple of years off. When the guys were 4 years old, I was meeting with therapists, and I found out that there's a career occupational therapy where one subset of it is basically playing with children therapeutically. And I thought, I could do that. And so I went back to school for a couple of years to learn that. We had to decide pretty early on, our lives are going to be pretty open, and we're going to let people help us. And I've had all kinds of support from a lot of sources. Started through our church and expanded through a whole big network of friends to raise money for a handicapped accessible van. Another family had a pretty decent car that they weren't using that they let us have when ours quit working. But it's been the work of, a huge community of people. My morning routine starts by getting up, checking on the guys. They might need to be repositioned or go to the bathroom. After initial contact, where I've assessed what they need, I'll probably go to the kitchen and start mixing up medicine. The boys take a lot of medication for the effects of muscular dystrophy. They're also on protein supplements because it's a little hard to get them enough food. I have help that comes in the morning. Someone comes to help with Matt at 10 o'clock. Some mornings, a second person comes to help with Will or Liz.
116 over 82. That is incredible.
Matt and Will both need nebulizer treatments that take about 15 or 20 minutes. Then they each use a machine that shakes them for about half an hour. Then we use a device that simulates a cough. It blows air in and sucks it right back out. The whole thing takes about 2 or 3 hours.
Bye, Dan.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
A typical family, if things are going well, says goodbye essentially to their kids when they're 18. And they go off to school and they see them every now and then, but the relationship changes drastically. And I've already enjoyed more time with Matt and Will, I think, than most parents do in a whole lifetime. It's a very different kind of thing. We're friends. I'm still sort of the boss. And the intimacy of personal care, literally doing everything for them, creates a really strong bond. It's hard to describe, but the level of trust we have in each other as a result of that, it's an amazing thing that I imagine most human beings don't even experience that. Liz is the ultimate low-maintenance woman. I have to do everything for her, but she really doesn't require a whole lot. She's not picky, she's beautiful, she doesn't need makeup. I haven't had to learn any of that traditional feminine stuff. I take care of all of Liz's personal needs, showering, going to the bathroom, getting ready for the day. When I brush Liz's teeth, she doesn't really have enough control to raise her head up and lean over and spit. I need 2 hands to handle her rinse cup and what she's spitting into. So I just naturally started leaning over with my forehead, pushing into hers. That keeps her head steady. Do her hair, get her dressed in the chair, then take her into the den where she spends most of her day in a comfortable recliner. Liz takes medication to prevent the formation of kidney stones. She's had terrible trouble with that, and some vitamins, a pill that's an anti-estrogen for breast cancer. She has, thankfully, just stage 0 breast cancer. Doesn't seem to be a problem. You realize that it's just your life, their life. You don't compare it to other people anymore, and I think that's one of the keys, is to not compare. We live in a culture of comparison in almost every way. But if you can drop that and just be grateful for everything that happens, it's really not that hard to do this.
I relax. It's helping her simulate a cough. It blows air in and then reverses it right away, so you can get some stuff up. To me, that just looked like a little bit of spit, right there. But give me a cough. Let's listen. Do you want to keep going? No? Lean you back. Liz is not very comfortable sitting up like this. She prefers to be pretty much all the way back. She, hasn't been able to be the mom that she envisioned being. She can't do for them, but she's there for them, and they know how loved they are. Mom, you're gorgeous.
I will. I will.
This is from. Oh, no, this is great because she's competitive. Oh, so I care. Oh, yeah, she's competitive.
I'm sorry, but you look absolutely rabid because of your competitive nature. You're scaring me. We're on the same team. Okay, I'm sorry, I've lost the whole train of it. Are you talking about the gang group or something?
Liz, did you say I am? I am. I am.
After blood?
Yeah, there you go. I told you she's ruthless.
Liz is extremely competitive, loves to have a good time, loves to, really play it up and say, I'm out for blood this time, I'm gonna win.
Well, the problem with this game is Liz can't really, see the tiles, and all that's gonna happen is if I don't do a good job, I'm in big trouble.
It's just fun to really play it up beyond, its real importance.
We got it, Matt.
There you go, Matt.
Anybody got dog? I got dog. Oh, man. Ha-ha. We got 2 Matts.
Dang, a double. This will take 10 minutes. Matt has the additional diagnosis of autism.
What do? Do you just let them do what they want to do? Or do you kind of keep trying to stretch their world a little bit and push them into other things? One more segment or one more turn or one more whatever, and see if he'll kind of lose that obsessive thinking for a minute and have a good time.
Ready.
Ready. Worm. Got it.
Got one from your bunny.
Yay.
Pass me Kiki, please.
Kiki is Matt's best non-human friend, a stuffed chimpanzee that we got. And at times in his life when you've had trouble speaking directly to him to try to, redirect him or make him happy, you could talk through Kiki and Matt would answer you in his Kiki voice.
Kiki, are you ready to watch wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get this. John Isner's going to be here. He's a tennis player. And several years ago, he played in the longest tennis match ever in a famous tennis setting called Wimbledon in England. And because of that, he got really famous. He was on TV. And one of the things that he mentioned was that he's a wrestling fan. Yeah, that is awesome. And he mentioned that he wanted to date the diva Maurice.
I do remember.
Very ooh la la with the French accent and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And, I'm too good for you. And you're gonna watch Raw with him. He wants to see Raw in your room.
Hello.
This is Liz James.
Hey Liz, how are you?
And Liz, I think, went to school with your mom's brother.
With Jimbo. That's right. Yeah.
What Alex is doing, it's incredible, and I get to see it firsthand today, so it's very special for me.
Thanks for having me over, bud. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're wrestling.
I am. I heard you are too.
Oh, yeah, wrestling. That's awesome.
Who's your favorite?
John Cena.
You like Cena?
Yeah.
He's not my favorite.
Who's your favorite?
I like Randy Orton actually.
Will, he understands, celebrity. Matt, not so much, unless it's a wrestler.
How's it going?
I'm Alex.
Alex
How you doing?
Alex, how are you? I'm John.
Nice to see you. This is Matt.
Hey Matt, how are you, bud?
Wanna watch what?
Yeah. I heard it going on in the back. You guys weren't even alive in '86
Right,
year.
you were -4.
Yeah.
4 years before you arrived on the scene.
We share a common bond in WWE wrestling. I think for any kid that grows up in Greensboro, it seems like wrestling was a part of our fabric growing up. I know it was mine, and I know it was theirs.
I think we remember that this is your favorite wrestler.
Yeah. We actually just. She goes like that. Yeah, it's Maurice.
In the world of professional
Yeah.
athletics and all that, you don't just pick up the phone and call Maurice. do you?
No.
You have your PR person.
Yeah, I
call
tried
her
had
PR
my
person.
people get her people,
Yeah, and did it ever work out? Did you get a date?
Well, I was unsuccessful.
Her whole wrestling persona is about,
being sassy.
No, I don't
yeah,
think
she does
so.
that exactly. Yeah, that's what she did to me.
Yeah.
She gave me this one.
The neat thing about it is they appreciate him just because he's a nice, fun guy that came around and talked to him.
Next time I'm home, I'd love to stop by again if I could. So, all right.
We can make that happen.
It's good to meet you, John.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Thank you.
Alex is an incredible guy. He doesn't look at this as hard work. He's just a husband providing for his family. It's as simple as that.
What's this? Something about your tailbone that's bothering you too?
Yeah.
When everybody kind of goes off at once, it's pretty unsettling, but it's happened enough times that I've learned to just kind of cast my gaze heavenward, ask for a little help, take what I believe is the most urgent one, and deal with that.
Do you feel fine, or do you want one more suction? I'm the only oral feeder now. And people still, they know that, but they still kind of make dinner for 3 or 4. Sometimes people bring really healthy things. Sometimes they bring comfort food, and I like it all. Sometimes the next day I can treat the nurse to lunch or whatever, and 3 meals like this will get me through the week pretty much.
We love visiting lots of places, but at UNC they have college girls. And Lily has made it easy for us to visit her at least once a semester at her sorority house. And she lines up lots of her friends. We go at lunchtime because that's the social time. And they get all this attention from these great girls.
Nice to meet you. I've heard so many wonderful things. Lily talks about you guys all the time.
Oh yeah, I'm from Birmingham.
Yeah. Hi, Ashton. Nice to meet you. Thank you. You are handsome.
You're making her blush.
I know, I really am.
Just kind of regrounds me by spending time with them and talking with them and kind of building back up some enthusiasm and motivation and just overall happiness.
He's gonna maybe be a werewolf with the beard.
They have taught me more about the way I should live my life than anyone else I've been around. And also just witnessing how they affect people that meet them and showing people how easy it is to be happy and enjoy your life and live it to the fullest.
Going to UNC is a nice experience for them because they're at college age or about and love seeing people their age and interacting with them. It's important to them to have that kind of outlet.
How'd you say I interacted with people, Dad?
You're a genius with people.
How you doing?
Good.
I think you got in a long time.
Well, it has been a while. Nice to see you.
Is it really?
He's had 6 visits, 2 here, 4 at Cone. About a little more than 60 days altogether. Duke is sort of like home base. They have a muscular dystrophy clinic where you can go and see pretty much everybody you need to see in one long visit. And we've been doing that for years. He started getting odd cultures and odd liver tests and things like that. What's it? I haven't really paid attention to CO2. You said that's a little high. And is his usually in the 40s typically?
Typically on the high side of 40s, but now it's in the 60s.
Yeah.
How you guys been? How you doing? Good. How you doing?
Wrestling.
Yeah.
The trash talking part, that's really the favorite.
This is kind of the embouche. We're going to begin this before we begin. Usually our appointments start out with a little review of the wrestling situation and what's going on with that, and what's new in their lives and any parties that are going on. So you've been staying out. I know we're here to talk about Matt today, but just asking you staying out of trouble?
I'm trying to.
Keeping your nose clean? How you feeling?
His voice is coming and going. I've got his cuff only about halfway inflated now. He came home from a 12-day stay a week ago today. His overall condition was kind of poor, having some fevers, dehydrated. We were pretty sure his feeding tube was just leaking all over the place. And after 2 very lethargic days of sleeping almost around the clock, he's bounced back pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, bud. You want what to be fixed? I'm making you nervous, I'm sorry. Matt says he wants to be fixed. I don't think you need to be fixed. We're just fine-tuning.
Yeah.
I think you're in good shape.
This is a horrible disease, and his boys are going through a lot, and they need a lot of care to keep them as healthy as they can. And Mr. James just shrugs his shoulders, goes, that's what my boys need, and I'm going to give it to them. My job, our job here at Duke, is to make sure that we give him the tools he needs to keep doing what he needs to do.
Probably the best he's been this year is an 8, and he's probably a 6 today.
And what makes him a 6 today?
Just appearing kind of tired, looking kind of pale, not having a whole lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
Although he's trying right now.
Yeah. But he's not saying it with his normal vim and vigor.
Right.
All right.
You're ready to go. That's a healthy emotion.
Yeah. You know, they've been dealt a bad hand, and they don't see it that way. They see it as, well, yeah, this isn't what we wanted, but now let's make the best of it. Yeah, there's the smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks better. Many times we all think of what can I do to live longer, and that's obviously very important, but it's not just how long you live, it's the quality of the life you live. And we try here to balance those 2 components out, and Mr. James is excellent at making sure that his boys are here as long as possible, but enjoying the life they have.
It's WWE SmackDown. We're going to see wrestling live at the Coliseum. You ready to rumble? Oh yeah. Matt and Will's favorite thing is wrestling.
I can't think of anything they'd rather do. I mean, they just talk about wrestling every day. They think these guys are the greatest, the girls too.
Look out, make way for the complimentary parking ticket.
We had some friends that had contacts with WWE.
So nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Come on in.
When they came to Greensboro, arranged a special room just for Matt and Will to hang out in.
No question that the Jameses have brought wrestling back into my life, and I've come to appreciate the subtleties and the morality plays and all the fun of WWE wrestling.
All right. What it is?
Is there a special guest referee with red hair? She was here earlier. I'm not.
I get a whole different side of the picture, man, by seeing how strong they really are. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about inside out. These guys are strong. It's very inspirational to me. I love doing it. I think it's part of my job as a human being, just as a man, to do that.
Matt notices details, and he asked Sheamus what happened to his finger. There was a little tiny scratch, like on a knuckle.
That's from hitting people too hard.
Oh, yeah.
We're ecstatic to have them here at the show tonight, and we're going to put on a great show for them. So they're going to have a great time, and that's what it's all about, putting smiles on people's faces.
You staying for the show?
Yeah.
All right. Can I sign your sheet?
Yeah.
Sweet.
3 divas at one time. They were all over that.
Divas are very hot.
What's up, everybody? Hey, guys.
Thanks for coming.
This is Will and Matt.
Will.
We got to meet a guy named Dolph Ziggler.
I have 35 girlfriends.
Oh, that's like 3 more than me. That's so awesome.
Matt and Will are 2 great kids who love the wrestling business. Since they were 9 years old, they haven't missed a show, and they're huge fans, and they gave me a lot of great pointers for my matches tonight, too. So it was so cool to see those 2. They love what we do, and we get a chance to give back to these guys face to face.
Liz has kidney stones, and she's had bladder stones before, and they just hang around and cause infection. She hasn't had pain like when people pass those. They just get bigger and bigger. So she had all this cleaned out last year, but it's come back again. So they're going to go in, clear out the blockage and a couple of half-inch kidney stones that are in her kidney.
Mm-hmm.
I love you too.
She loves you.
I love you too.
Now, see, you're gonna make me cry now. You say nice things like that, it makes me cry.
Thank y'all very much.
Liz is always about everybody else. She's always about making sure everyone else is comfortable, everybody else is happy. She's not thinking about herself. And we talk a lot about what the next life is like. We talk about that a lot. And she was saying, don't worry, because I'm going to be happy.
If I die, you
Don't
don't
cry,
cry.
because you're
Don't
going to be
cry.
happy. I love you. I love you too, sweetheart.
Going to the hospital is supposed to be a big deal, but when you do it on your terms and you have the same surgeon that's done it before, it's certainly no fun, but it's sort of like, just going in for maintenance. And you hope nothing scary happens.
Mom wants to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, nice kiss, Matt. Ain't that Kiki saying goodbye? He knows about her kidney stones, and she's had them before, but he doesn't like it when she goes to the hospital. The house is kind of empty without Mom.
Give me a letter. Alex is S.
Thank you so much.
T. R. A. I. Straight? from God. Yes, he is, honey.
Huh?
Alex is straight from God. Yes, he is, darling. I love you. I'll see you soon. Mwah. I'll see you soon. I love you too, baby. I'll see you soon, okay? 48 hours.
Should have raised your head a little. Your shoulder hurts?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about it except take a little pressure off there. Probably hurt it lifting there, sorry.
We're here to support my mom today and give her the strength to dominate kidney stone surgery, to dominate her surgery, which she will do. She's been there and done that. She can do it again.
I am ready.
I'm mad at you?
I am ready.
I have?
Ready.
I have had it?
Yes.
Okay. In general?
I think it comes from just 20 years more of having a chronic illness, and there's always something wrong.
Stop saying you're sorry. Hey Liz, we just got here. Save it.
I guess I just remind her that you're here for one very specific thing, and a week from now you should be pretty much fully recovered. The tubes will be out and all that, and things will be back to normal, and think of something that we're looking forward to.
We were on our way to the beach and we were driving Dad crazy to the point where he finally had it.
And I said, if y'all can't get quiet, this toy is going out the window and we're not turning around to come get it. Man, it felt good to throw that thing out.
I bet it did.
It's a challenge to figure out how to pass time in a hospital. It's really nice to reminisce with them about things we used to do when they were little.
You getting this one?
Something about you don't have you do not have that attitude.
Okay, who are we talking about?
Me.
You.
You.
And is attitude in this?
Yeah.
How old was Will?
13.
13.
Oh,
Okay.
That's in the
And he was about 13.
It's tremendously satisfying to see Will helping out his mom. She can't speak easily, and in this particular situation, Will was doing a great job, better than I was, figuring out what Liz was trying to say, and it just makes my heart full to see him doing that.
I threw a jar of olives.
Mom threw a jar.
Out the window?
Olives out the window. When I was 13.
I don't know what happened there.
I always go out with the same group of guys. When the weather's nice, we play par 3 and then go out for beer and burgers. When it's wintertime, we bowl and go out for beer and burgers.
These guys have been a great support group to kind of give him a helping hand.
You're on fire. I was hoping I could be 2 for 2. You were close.
This is when he can go out and just be with the guys and not think about anything else. Just play golf, have fun.
Yeah, they're having fun playing golf, but they're taking care of me, and I know that.
We just all look forward to it, look forward to being with Alex. It's a real inspiration to be around. He's just always jovial, he's very witty, just always fun to be around.
Yeah!
I promise you he does more for us, being with him than vice versa.
1, 2, 3. I made it.
If I ask somebody to do something, they might be busy, they're
Their spouse might want them to do something. If they mention, oh, this is for Alex, it's amazing. People really go out of their way to help. We joke that there are probably people all over town doing things they shouldn't be doing, saying they're with Alex. Oh, it's Alex, okay, go ahead. Will just got home from the hospital with being on a ventilator for the first time. That's, of course, a big change. There's this little thing in there that you blow up with air that keeps you safe from your secretions and all that going the wrong way, but you can't talk when it's fully inflated. So we're trying to find a happy medium of deflating that a little bit to let him talk and keeping him safe.
Even though you're on a full machine assistance to breathe with, it doesn't fully inflate the lungs. You have to have a plastic tube in your neck. There's risk of infection. Not until we can find some way to slow down or arrest the progression of the muscle atrophy can we really find a cure, if you will, for this kind of condition from a breathing standpoint.
And just keep an eye on this.
So, I just want into my life now.
Oh, buddy.
Bye.
All right, well, let's try it different. I'll put that air back in. And I don't think he felt very comfortable from what he was just saying. It's a little dramatic sometimes.
I was being evil. I was being dark.
It's okay. Sometimes it feels like that, I'm sure.
When you have someone that you love who is diagnosed with a muscular dystrophy, you know that from that diagnosis, it further deteriorates. So there's not a getting better, it's always getting worse. What strikes me as so moving with Alex is that while he knows that, he doesn't accept it as a negative truth. He makes the most of every day with those boys.
It's phenomenal to me, the care that they have received in their home environment. It really is like an intensive care unit in a standard hospital.
While you were in the hospital, we signed up for the WWE Network.
Awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
Thirsty Thursday is Thursday home baseball game for the Greensboro Grasshoppers. They have dollar beverages, dollar hot dogs. Who wouldn't want to go to that?
They can't drink beer or eat hot dogs. They're crazy about girls. They love having their pictures taken with the ladies. They treat them like rock stars.
I'm the go-getter, because I go get her.
Look at the alternative. It's a whole lot less creepy if a woman goes to ask another woman for her picture.
I don't come to watch the game either.
I come to watch the 80s.
How do you?
They really like to talk to them and compliment them and love meeting people. They're young men now, so they prefer if those people are female, and Thirsty Thursday just puts all that together in a great way. There are about a dozen Thirsty Thursdays in a baseball season, and we generally go to every one if we can.
He originates from
Another friend?
Things have really been rocking around here. We used to have just a regular bathtub, and they would get their swimming in at a pool that was warm enough for them. But as they've declined and don't move as well, they need a really warm pool. So we decided to get a bigger tub, kind of a triangle-shaped whirlpool with jets. And I don't know how he thought of it, but Will just figured out that he could get in there, and there was room for a lady on this side and a lady on that side. So he invited his two favorite ladies, Gail and Ann, and they're usually just together for that whirlpool event. But because they were both blonde, and I think Will heard the term on Wrestling with the Divas, he named them the Blonde-tourage. We've added Mary Lou to that now. She's blonde.
It's just three great ladies that are willing to do anything with the guys. Gail has actually become Will's, calls it superstar girlfriend. He claims 38 girlfriends, but she's clearly the first among all those.
Tell me some of the things you've been doing this week.
Final Thirsty Thursday on Thursday night and saw a bunch of pretty 80s.
Somehow the pretty ladies always find you.
Thursday night, it's like there were a flock of 80s walking around. It's like amazing.
Walking around you.
Walking around me.
They want to come see you,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think they could handle my sexiness and
That's
hotness, you know.
right.
I don't think I got it from my dad because he was pretty shy.
Well, you don't have that problem, do you?
I don't have that problem.
Anytime I'm around Will, he really makes you remember what's important in life, and he's so good about living in the moment. I think we genuinely have a special relationship. So what you want to call that? I don't know. I choose to call him my smoking hot boyfriend. So you are the superhero of love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I wonder sometimes if they think everybody lives this way. Because they've got so many people that care about him so much and are doing things with him, and I know they appreciate it, but I don't know that they get how unusual that is to be connected to so many different people. We're going to Thomasville, where my mother lives, to take her a new television. Her 1980-something model finally quit. My mom's in a very nice skilled care facility. She broke her hip, never really fully recovered. She's at an age where dementia's setting in, but she knows exactly who I am. We have good conversations about the past. I take Matt and Will with me whenever I can over there, but it's very hard to visit with her, with them. They'll come lift it up here and mount it on the wall.
Oh, I see.
It'll be out of the way, you'll regain some space right there.
Okay.
She has always had trouble remembering the little triggers that set Matt off. And they're totally innocent things.
This is the nicest surprise.
Thank you.
Now, which
You're on like day 8 of your TV crisis.
Call me a boy.
We're all boys and
I'm
guys.
not a boy.
All right, take it easy.
Excuse me, honey.
I'm not a boy. I'm not a boy.
He doesn't want to be called a man, a boy. It has to be guys. She's old enough that she's earned the right to forget that. And I don't think you heard the high-pitched voice, but he just did. Bye, Nana. You know who that was? He was doing Kiki's voice.
Oh, okay.
So you got two goodbyes from over here and one from
Okay.
Will. So far, it's always settled down pretty well, and she doesn't end up with hurt feelings. That's my biggest concern. We may be getting close to a time where she's not going to be able to understand all that that's going on, and I'll just not take Matt with me.
Everybody's here to see you.
Hey, Liz. Hey, Alex.
Liz and I came over here. Sally organized a get-together with her old friends from college. I mean, all these girls have kept up with her for over many years, and they don't get to see her a whole lot. We've got a couple that are local, but a lot of these folks are from out of town, and it's a real treat to get them all together at once. You're saying how awesome I am and all
shit,
that,
Dave.
and then she goes, no.
Gordon.
We were good at planning reunion trips, and it was always to the beach. Liz was determined to go into the ocean, and Don and I are like all over, you know, holding on to her, and she's like, let go of me. And we're like, no, we're not gonna let go of you. Let go of me and y'all go back to the shore. No, Liz, we're not leaving you. And she just was like, leave me, I'm fine. So Donna and I go stand on the shore and Liz lost her balance and down she went in the water. And so we run out and we lift her up and we're bringing her out and Liz gets out just yelling, I'm not drunk, I got fucking MS.
And then she goes,
Liz used to say, I know there are probably other people out there that have a worse situation than us. Hard to believe, but to see this family rise to the occasion and make every day a joy and live life to its fullest is such a great example.
It's heartbreaking. It is. But her spirit, her joy is there. But it's so hard to watch and understand. And, you know, your whole family, Liz.
We love you, Liz.
Makes us all stronger.
You know that, don't you? You give us strength, Liz. Quit saying thank you. Told you to stop that.
is it something you want specific you want me to tell about?
Just make up
Let's talk about how great you are?
Yeah.
But do you want me to just add some stuff? Is that what you're saying?
Okay. To watch how they have evolved as a couple is so heartwarming because I almost feel like even though they deal with the challenges that they deal with, which are more than anybody I've ever known, I feel like they have more love between the two of them than anybody I've ever known.
I try to imagine what life's going to be like without Matt and Will, and it's hard. I hope that I will respond by saying, you know, whoever it happens to first, but you know, it'd been Will, just like, well done, Will. You know, he really did. I mean, if it ended right now, well done. Will is much more capable of abstract concepts, and we've talked about it in a lot of detail. He's expressed some anger. It doesn't look like a fearful kind of emotion. It's more like, you know, this pisses me off. And I think that's healthy. Matt, you know, has a communication disability, so it's kind of hard with him. We had a conversation in 2010 when he wasn't supposed to make it. I remember saying basically, Matt, you've done everything you can do. You fought really hard, but your body's worn out. You've got this infection. You're not going to make it. We're going to keep you comfortable. I love you. You'll be in heaven soon. And he said, can I take Kiki with me? And I said, yeah. And he said, can I watch wrestling there? And I said, sure. And he just said, okay. If someone asked me what kind of person I am, I would say I'm very patient, reflective, grateful. I have a deep faith that gets really fuzzy if you try to peel it back and explain it, but it's basically that everything's okay. Not so much that everything happens for a reason. I don't think there's a reason for all my family members to be having so much trouble, but there is a reason to get up every day and enjoy the day. We don't really look for peak experiences like, you know, vacations or trips to Disney World. We just try to find joy in every day, and we always manage to. And we tend to accept all these symptoms of these diseases rather than try to fight them or get too invested in spending a lot of time on fixing things. We basically accept things the way they are, accept a lot of help from a lot of people, and it's turned out to be a pretty good deal so far. Gospel music is really uplifting for the whole family. It's almost like a magic trick. If they're upset about something and I play the right song, if it's got a good beat, it gets everybody in a good mood, and then you can talk about anything you want, have a good time together.
When I get in glory, shoot. When I get in glory, there'll be a sing, 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 he'll sing. Roger. Everybody singing. Anybody wanna see Jesus? Y'all go ahead, get it out.
Would you like wrestling for Christmas? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Shoot. When I get in glory, there'll be a sing, 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 he'll sing. Roger. Everybody singing. Anybody wanna see Jesus?
I'll see you later, alligator. And I also have the most wonderful husband in the world, and the absolutely, without a doubt, in the history of the world, most wonderful children. And I'm very, very happy.
Let's have some church in here. Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. You can do it. Everybody. Come on, church. Come on. Come on, church. If you wanna, and if you wanna, shout it in the east. Everybody shout. Shout it in the west. Everybody shout. Shout it in the middle. Everybody shout. Anybody wanna shout? Everybody shout. Anybody wanna shout? Everybody shout. All I need is one more witness. Everybody shout. All I need is one more witness. Everybody shout. That know you got the Holy Ghost. Everybody shout. Anybody got the Holy Ghost? Everybody shout. I got to stay right here. I said I got to stay right here. Y'all look at the Holy Ghost working. You look at the Holy Ghost working. That man got the Holy Ghost. That man got the Holy Ghost. Anybody feel him working out? Anybody here feel him working out? Do y'all love the Lord? Anybody here love the Lord? Do y'all feel him working out? Do y'all feel him working out? I never will forget that day. I never will forget that day. When the Holy Ghost fell on me. When the Holy Ghost fell on me. I know I've been washing the blood. I know I've been washing the blood. Anybody know you've been washed? Anybody know you've been washed? Anybody know you've been washed? Come on, help me lift them up. Come on, help me lift them up. Anybody love the Lord? Anybody love the Lord? Do y'all love the Lord? Do y'all love the Lord? Do y'all love the Lord? Come on, help me lift them up. Come on, help me lift them up. Let me tell you what the Holy Ghost does. The Holy Ghost pick me up. The Holy Ghost pick me up. Turn me all around. I never will forget that day. I never will forget that day. Y'all put those hands in the air. Y'all put your hands in the air. Everybody shout it. Everybody shout it. Everybody shout it. Everybody in the youth. Everybody.
Oh